Good morning. Good afternoon. Good evening, YouTubers. I'm outside, so I'll speak up. That pile of rocks and the few sticks was from raking up a pile of leaves. Which brings me to the next topic on protecting and preparing the homestead. And that is a lot of those rocks are what I call ankle busters. So in walkways, in areas where you're going to be in and out, and I'll show you a couple examples here in a minute, get rid of rocks where you can step on them and roll your ankle and snap it. Now, the drive here, I'm thinking I'm probably just going to roll them out in the driveway, because you just got to watch the driveway. There's rocks everywhere, and they'll prevent erosion. And this has had some gully washers in the, the second I got here, I'm like, wow, it's been eroded quite a bit. So, need some angled cross things, like right across there, diagonal out that way, and and that's just a matter of either machinery or shovel, pickaxe, hoe, and just make a slight indent. That's what is right here a little bit. See, the water that's going to run there is going to run over there, but it's running over there, not all the way across. That probably used to be all the way across the driveway, about to where that big rock is. And that way the water angles down, it catches, and it doesn't run straight down the driveway. Okay, so weed whacking, got that area cleared, some of that. You might tend to walk from there down here, so I whacked that. I got underneath the shower house. Last video I showed the burn cage. Okay, I redid it, repiled it. I put twigs in there to keep stuff up off the ground, and I had said about getting something under it, and I'm going to look around, and I might do that, I might not. But any cardboard you have laying around, set it by the burn cage. When it's dry, put it in the burn cage. Okay, so I did bag up all that stuff. It fit in that trash bag, or the cat food bag, just like I thought it would. Okay, so here's a walkway. Here's ankle busters, and also a lot of twigs, and all these are just debris, camouflage for copperhead snakes. Rake them up, put them over by the burn cage, and when you're ready to put them in the burn cage, use them as bedding, basically, for your fire. Red wasp, bad, bad, bad. I'm supposed to have a squirt gun with me, and I don't. All right, so over here, there's several rocks there, and those were right in the walkway. So I picked them up and I didn't pick them up, I just kicked them out of the way. All right, so I got to adjust my situation here. Sorry about that, Chief. This was kind of a whole rush deal, and I did not bring hardly anything, so like a belt and my camouflage permethrin coated military, whatever they're called, ACT, ABT, whatever, camouflage pants. I do have I'm going to show you that. Went for a hike, realized I'm going to lose those ear protectors, so I looped them through the thing, so I got one on each side. They dangle down, but I can loop them back up in there. Bush hats, total favorite in Vietnam vets. You can put twigs in them, match the camouflage of the terrain, shotgun shells, knives, lighters, whatever. Okay, so here was a bunch of heavy debris leaf debris. A lot of it was copper colored. It's just killer copperhead snake. That's copperhead habitat. There's 2 depths of wood there. There should only be 1. That I will eventually, that's a lot of, those things are heavy, but that should have been between that cut off tree there and the other one over here, the longest one there, the biggest one on the end. Single stack. Put your big stuff on the bottom, put your smaller stuff up on top. But so I don't want anything in front of it. Now if you read a book, you can download it online, Duffer's Drift. Okay, this is hickory, pretty sure. I tried to split it one time, and an 8-pound splitting mallet bounced off of it. It's crazy, absolutely crazy. So, oak, no, wouldn't do it. Bounced off with the tip. I hit it square dead on with a lot of force, and it just bounced up. Okay, nasty stuff. But my point is, you see how it's kind of angled toward the house, okay? That's good. You don't want it running perpendicular to the house, because that is not only concealment, but cover. You can't shoot through that stuff. This way, there's just if there was a problem, someone could stand here, and you can have visibility and everything down both sides. So that's my point. Okay, there you go. And I can't even see the leaves that were here. With the weed whacker, I have okay, it's not mine anymore, Shindiwa. See there, I just stepped on that. Big rock. And there's another one right at my toe. I mean, this is crazy. There's one that's flat enough I can just kick that in. But what I want to do with these is just flip them up to a tree, somewhere where they're going to stay, somewhere you're not going to walk. Rolling ankle busters. There's another one. Not too bad, but I'm going to get it out of the way. Okay, so by turning the Shindiwa, instead of cutting this way, I turn it this way, and it's a power rake. This was about 4 inches deep in leaves, and I can't even really see them anymore because I just blew them out. Very cool. And also, viney things, if you start up here, turn it that way instead of trying to cut them, it's just going to snap your line. Turn it like this, start at the top. I'd run at full speed like this, and boom, strip all the leaves off. Come back just a few minutes later, and there's a lot less life force. Without those leaves, they lose life force really fast, and they seem to dry up. Then I take it and I turn it vertical to them, and I'll usually rest it on my hip, and I'll go back and forth, right on one at a time, one line at a time, and it'll take them right down to the root, and sometimes it'll even vibrate them out and pull the whole thing up by the root. So I got clear around here. Again, I power raked. I haven't finished it yet, but you can see where I got up here. There's an ankle buster. Boom. Don't want them in the walkway. Okay, there's a runoff trench there. Pretty much got that kind of cleaned out. There was a bucket in there, upright, full of water, skeeter breeder. Those two viney things, I was just about out of line, so I didn't fight with them, plus they're up against that 4x4 post. But you can see where I started here and power raked this right down to the dirt. Okay, and that's about where I wanted to continue up here to get more line and fuel. So that plant there, the red stems, that is pokeweed, poisonous, don't eat it. Yeah, you can, it's not poke salad, it's poke salad, Annie. Whatever that means. Another issue here. I just stepped on another rock, but I'm not going to deal with it right now. It's kind of small. Okay. Here is some berries. Yummy, yummy, yummy. If you're ever in the Rockies and boy, bugs are just eating them up. Wow. Look at that. Some kind of beetle. Munching them to beat the band. Well, I'm going to eat one of them. I don't get stung by something. Oh. Ow. I think I had a bug in my mouth. So, here's a point on the berries is they're really close to the house. There's debris here, logs. That tree there I think probably should go, that big leafy tree. I mean, it's kind of a maple or something, and it's nice, and it might be shade eventually. But this whole mess here, I don't think should be here. Definitely the pokeweed. Because there's a hill there, and the bears come from that direction. So do you want them to have additional concealment? They could come right up to there, you wouldn't see them. There's also a major attraction here for them, berries. So your berries can be grown anywhere. Well, these flying beetles are just bizarre. Copper looking things. They are eating the berries. So that, you know, nobody's gonna eat those berries. I'm thinking this whole bush operation here needs to go away. There's a stump there with a hole in it, which could, you know, put a seed on that. You got a outdoor number 2 toilet. Kind of high, but hey, you know, I mean, that's just pointing it out. Nice toilet. Okay, so this is cleared down to there. Visibility is key. You want to step out here, run a spotlight, and know that you can see the eyes reflecting back at you and step back in the house. So that's the operation that I've been doing here. That stack is pretty good, but I wish it had been stacked up properly. 1 stack only, because you get 2 stacks, you got copperhead habitat. There's berries there. I figured I'd leave them. Might be able to harvest a berry off of them. So the Dawn and spray bottle and squirt gun, hose them. Great for wasps and bugs. So, all right, about it. Just wanted to do the log stack, firewood stack here, and the ankle buster issue, and the berry bushes, and the power raking the ground out. So covered that, so that's it. All right, this is Jerry Diamond, protecting and developing the homestead. I want to give a shout out, a heads up shout out to the Ozark Journey to Self-Sufficiency. I think it was my Ozark Journey to Self-Sufficiency. Dear sister, Lisa, please subscribe to her, watch her videos. She did a recent one called Strategic Relocation to the Ozarks. She plays a little bit of Joel Skousen's video interview with Alex Jones, and maybe too much of it, but I think she gave him credit. Well, she definitely gave him credit. So I don't know if she'll get flagged for it or buzzed. And she said, oh, well, if I do, I'll start another channel. But very dear sister, please pray for her. She came here with some beautiful goats, awesome, hard-working sister, and working very hard right now and not, you know, not getting a lot done for her own vision. Please pray for her vision. Same as mine, same as a lot of other people's. We need about 500 to 1,000 acres. We can pull together, we can do that if you will listen to me. If you people out there listening to me will actually listen and do something other than sit on your hands, we could do it. Easily do it. I have 7,000 subscribers. You know, it wouldn't take much to buy 500 acres. We can do it. It can happen. It has to happen. It's going to happen. Are you going to be part of it or not? And another issue, almost every single woman out here, every single homestead is a widow, or a woman that would have been better off as a widow than being married. Ankle busters. All right? Abusive husband situations. Many of them. They're out here by themselves. They're doing what you all should be doing. They have the balls and the guts and the drive and the concern for other people. Yes, their children and their grandchildren. But some of them are adopting orphans because they care about people. And a lot of people listening to me tote the Torah around. I've said this before and I'm going to say it again. If I offend somebody, gee, I'm sorry. No, I'm not sorry. If you believe in Torah and are not supporting my ministry or some ministry like it that takes care of widows and orphans, one of the sisters I'm helping is a widow. and she adopted an orphan. And if you're not donating on a regular basis, tithing, whatever you want to call it, yeah, tithe was every 3 years, but it was for widows, orphans, strangers, and priests. And the orphan I'm speaking of is a priest, as am I believe. And I'm definitely a stranger. I've been thrown out of places because I was stranger than the rest of them. I was evicted twice in 1 week recently. So, my point is, begin to tithe, because this is going to be the deciding factor for the establishing of the kingdom, I believe. How are you treating widows, orphans, strangers? Remember the stranger. Treat them exactly like you treat yourself and your brethren and your family, because you were once a stranger in Mitzrayim. What's the transliteration for Mitzrayim? Missouri. M-I-S-E-R-I or M-I-S-U-R-I. Pronounce that however you want. It kind of sounds like Missouri. The Ozark Plateau overall. The land of Goshen. I just had a lady was just stunned recently. She said, Goshen, you're calling it Goshen. She says, God told me to move here because it was Goshen. So, yeah. If you have all those ideas of, you know, whatever is going to happen and going over to the Middle East, to Israel, Palestine, let me know how that works out for you. I don't know. I don't know what to say. So, anyway, ankle buster. Get it out the way, because this is a walkway. There's another one. Walkway. That's what you end up with, a 55-gallon drum burn barrel, especially with no holes in it. If you're going to burn in a barrel like that, shoot the thing full of shotgun holes or 30-06 holes. I mean a bunch of them, 50 of them around the base. Put some holes in them. For about $30, $35 from Gimpler's, look on eBay. You can get a galvanized burn barrel set up on legs. Not too bad, a whole lot cheaper than the stainless steel $300 to $600 ones from DR, Power Equipment, and Bad Idea burn cages. Stainless steel is the way to go. I totally believe in it. Some of them you can fold flat and stick behind the door in the garage, and that's awesome. But one of them's round, and I think they claim that it burns at 1800 degrees, so you can actually melt your glass and incinerate, vaporize your aluminum cans. But when you're done burning with those, pretty much all you got is ashes, unless you're putting a lot of glass in it. And what you're left with is not a lot of debris, no smoke, well, hardly any smoke, no smoldering crap. Your plastics are going to go fast. Everything else is going to burn up really fast. There's a lot of debris there to burn. I think I might just start a fire over there and just get some of that going just to have a fire. So again, a lot of extra cover there for something meandering up the driveway, and that's the direction the bear last time took off, after being encouraged with a few shots from a .22 and a stare down. And a neighbor up the road said, you lock eyes with a wild animal, this bear, they will consider it a challenge, they will always remember it, and they will come back. So there's another little thing to be aware of and maybe decide not to do. But that happened. All right, that's it. Jerry Diamond, How to Get Out of Babylon. Listening to this, you are the remnant. But please listen. Listen and hear and listen. And don't just listen. Do. Do or don't do. There is no try. Don't try. Do it. Get on board. Get real. Get serious. Get honest with yourself. Most of you are doing nothing real. You can do something real. Make it last. Gandalf said to Frodo, the only thing that we have to be concerned with is what to do with the time that is left us. And some of you still have resources left. You got a lot of resources. Liquidate some stuff. Get rid of it. Cut your losses. Burn your bridges. Make it real. Get out here and help. And if you're not donating to a ministry that's supporting widows, orphans, and strangers, donate to this ministry. And that's basically an order, right from Scripture. Not from me, from Scripture. Do it. Old and New Testament. What's one of the requirements of a bishop? To visit those that are sick. Visit those that are in prison. What does it say in Hebrews? Don't forget to entertain the stranger, for you may entertain angels unawares. Why do you want to entertain strangers? Because you're commanded to in Torah. You're commanded to. Do not treat the stranger any different than you treated your family. Just do it. Get real. Stop playing games. Stop playing tiddlywinks. Stop fiddling around while Rome is burning, and get real, people. Get real. Over and out. As Richie from Boston says, like, share, and subscribe, or don't. I'm out.